Hello everybody, welcome to Mike's Mike. My name is Mike. Kind of rude that you also wore white when I'm wearing white, but I mean, you do you. So a couple of weeks ago I uploaded a video called Dance Mums is actually about organic chemistry. This is also the Abby Lee Dance Company, and you would know that if you had taste because you would have seen it. So, now as we know, I exist on a completely different plane to you all. Get on my level. And this series is an opportunity for me to just show you all what you would see if you were on this plane of existence. So, I mean, enter at your own risk. Today we're going to be discussing the fact that Isaac Newton travelled to the future to observe Kim Kardashian and then travelled back to the 17th century to write the laws of motion.
You did this for what?
Do I have evidence that this happened? No. Do you have evidence that this did not happen? Also no.
Why? Why not?
Just a quick disclaimer, I did a lot of research for this video, so I think most, if not all, of the scientific content is correct. But if something is slightly off, we can go two ways. We can be, oh no, he made a mistake. Or we can say that's the new normal, and that's what the science is now. And I think we should just do that. So we're going to be discussing how some key Keeping Up with the Kardashians scenes embody some of the fundamentals of classical mechanics, or more specifically, Newton's 3 laws of motion.
1, 2, 3.
Just a note on Newton himself, this is what he looked like. Now, I don't want to be mean, but either all of the people who painted him were part of some secret I hate Isaac Newton club, where they deliberately did him dirty with the paintings, or he just wasn't a looker. And that's okay.
It's okay to not be good.
I guess what I'm saying is that I'm surprised that Kim didn't notice that someone that looks like this and dresses like this was walking around her all the time.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
Or we could just take these little things and maybe throw them away. Where's your purse? You're gonna see your phone go in the toilet. Let's see if yours work. It's what she deserves.
Newton's first law says this.
Child. Anyway, so.
And what this means is that an object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless acted upon by an external force. So by discussing the first law, we're actually also talking about the concept of inertia. So everybody please welcome Miss Inertia to the chat. I think the simplest way of talking about Newton's first law would be if we have an object and she's just vibing, right, at a constant velocity, and that velocity can be zero, which is kind of flop, boring behavior, but I mean, that is allowed. But I wouldn't have done it myself, but anyway. And she's going to maintain that velocity if the net forces acting on her are zero. If she's sat, girl, she ain't moving. So what's going on in this scene? What's all this then, yeah?
Let's see if yours work.
When Kim throws the phone has velocity. Now, that phone, she's done. She's done with the drama. She just wants to go. She just wants to head on out to the Scottish Highlands and live and never talk to anyone ever again. But she can't do that. Now, we can't physically see this, but I mean, speak for yourself. But when Kim throws the phone off the balcony, the reason why the phone doesn't just into space is because of gravity. Everybody please welcome Miss Gravity to the chat. Miss Gravity, I think, is the bane of my existence. The fact that I'm stuck on the ground, for now, is just rude and problematic, to be honest.
We just went down.
So yes, in a gravity-less situation, if Kim throws the phone would keep moving, it wouldn't go down until it hits something, which counts as an external force, and that's timeout. That's game over, we need to head to the side and we need to have some drinks. And some oranges maybe. The other scene that I'd probably talk about when discussing Newton's first law of motion would be the sliding scene in the car.
We're sliding, Chloe. Chloe, it's not my fault, not my fault.
And how in that scene we've got friction, or the lack of friction. But see, I don't want to talk about that. And you know why?
Because I don't want to speak to you.
Because I want to talk about Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people, which, I mean, that sounds like us. Explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. At the moment, I'm taking a class called Logo Design with Grids by George Bokhua. Yes, pronunciation. And this course is all about what geometric perfection in a logo means and how to achieve it. As most of you know, my background is largely analytical and technical, so I'm really enjoying this class in that I can use some of those skills whilst also working on my creativity. If you're uncertain about what's next, creative challenges and productivity classes can be a great way to help you structure your time and set up achievable goals. goals. Connect with the support of fellow creatives and enter a community of encouragement, communication, and inspiration. So whether you're looking to fend off boredom, focus on self-care through creativity, or join a similarly creative community, Skillshare is the place to keep you learning. Skillshare is giving away 2 free months of premium membership to the first 1,000 people that click the link in the description to help you explore your creativity. And then after that, it's only about $10 a month. So if I were you, I would get scrolling and I would get clicking. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Back to your less exciting version of me.
You are so jealous. You are just so jealous that you cannot get a Bentley. I hate my sisters. No, but also, don't be rude. Are you kidding me?
Newton's second law states that the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the force applied. That change in momentum happens in the direction of the force. So Chloe was jealous that Kim was getting a Bentley. Kim was mad. She started swinging that thang. There was a lot of force applied. Let's discuss. So yada yada yada. This equation is groundbreaking, but like Miranda Presley groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
And it's kind of annoying, so let's change it. So momentum can be broken down to mass times velocity. And this little thing here, this thang, that's the rate of change. So if we move stuff around, we end up with mass times the rate of change of velocity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, rate of change of velocity, who is she? Correct, she's acceleration. You guys have been studying, good job. So if we want to calculate the force with which Kim hit Chloe with the bag,
Don't be rude.
we need to know how heavy the bag is. So I consulted with an expert, my sister, and she said that the bag itself probably weighs around 900 grams. Now, if we think about what's in the bag, I'm saying sunglasses, I'm saying the black Amex, I'm saying a flip phone, a perfume bottle maybe, and some of Paris Hilton's dry cleaning. So all of that, I would say maybe like 4 kilos. Now, look, I don't want to bore you with the details, but let's just say that I needed to calculate acceleration and I used this equation and I assumed that the initial velocity was 0 and Miss Thang was swinging that thang. I would say in like half a second, she swung it like 0.5 meters. Lots of assumptions happening, we're just gonna have to deal with that. So yada yada yada, the acceleration equals this, okay? Okay, so that means if we treat this as a linear system, the force with which Kim hit Chloe with the bag, which I thought was a Birkin, which is apparently not a Birkin, the force she hit Chloe with was this. Now, did she deserve it?
I mean, let me ask the audience.
So notice how I said linear system. Now, is a linear approach the best approach to this? No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. Since Kim is essentially using her hand as a pivot point to swing that bag and send Chloe into the next dimension, it's probably better to use the torque equation. Now when I say torque, I mean T-O-R-Q-U-E, not T-A-L-K. Talk that talk to me. So in the torque equation, torque itself is like the Parent Trap British twin version of force. Rotational inertia is the equivalent of mass. And then to round things out, we have, instead of using the normal iconic Billboard Hot 100 chart-topping #1 hit acceleration, we have to use a less iconic but still important angular acceleration. But I guess the main takeaway with this more realistic system is that torque is proportional to the angular acceleration. So the faster that Kim swangs that thang, it's gonna hurt Chloe more, period.
No. You don't stop.
Never! Guys, stop it! Dig your nails in me!
You guys, stop.
Courtney!
So Newton's third law, 1, 2, 3, Peter, Paul, and Mary, as Britney Spears put it, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Sometimes you'll see a Target calligraphy picture frame with a quote similar to that, and sure, you can think about it in that way. Like philosophically, when Chris threw Kim's phone, there was an equal and opposite reaction in which Kim threw Chris's phone. Chris's.
It's what she deserves.
But was it really equal? I mean, Kim kind of chucked it. But remember, we have galaxy brains. And as such, we will refer to this in the frame of reference of physics. Instead of saying that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, we're more interested in saying that forces between objects have equal magnitude and opposite direction. Stop! When Courtney slaps Kim that hard, that's our action, that's our force 1, force A, if you will. Courtney! And then when Kim hits the wall, leaving a little bit of fake tan on the wall, that's our reactive force, or force B. And then of course you can jump further into that and say when Kim actually hits the wall, that's a force that has mass times acceleration, and then the wall imparts an equal and opposite force on Kim. So that's that on that. You know, maybe Isaac Newton time traveled to the 21st century just to see what's up, see what everyone's doing, see what's happening, and then he traveled back to flop 17th century and made these laws of motion. So we have the Kardashians to thank for everything, essentially. Thank you, ladies. Clap for the Kardashians. KLAP. So that brings me to the end of this class and to the end of this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like. If you've got something to say, leave a comment. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. You know, maybe do me a favor and share it. Like, how crazy would that be? Like, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, maybe even learned something. And I will talk to you all soon. Peace out. Bye. It's Christmas, let's go home. Welcome to the end screen. Here you will find another video for you to watch and a link to easily subscribe to my channel. So make sure you subscribe to my channel.